From the very beginning, we've been driven by something special, by a belief, by shared values, by purpose. A purpose that has fueled our rise from humble roots to a global reputation for excellence.
Along the way, we have marked moments. Together, we have shared triumphs and defeats. We have made breakthrough discoveries and changed lives. We've learned, we've grown, always striving for better.
Duke's highest purpose is to advance knowledge and, as a community, demonstrate courage, compassion, and service to others.
What we have done here is our legacy. What we are doing here is our foundation. What we will do next is our promise. A promise to never stop learning and evolving, so that our future will always reflect our best intentions.
The story of Duke is a story of achievement. It's a story of community. It's a story of our collective commitment to address our world's greatest challenges and advance humankind.
The story of Duke is our story. And together, we will chart our course for the future.
welcome your host for the Centennial Celebration Kickoff, 𝐀𝐻𝐨𝐿.
Let's give it up for the wildly talented student dancers of Duke University. Wow. I am Ken Jeong, and it is my true honor to be here to celebrate this extraordinary moment, Duke's Centennial. Make some noise. This year, we celebrate 100 years of Duke, and more importantly, we're celebrating what's to come. And actually, not gonna lie to you, true story, look it up. I thought when I got the invite to host, I thought it said Centennial. And I thought it was like, cool, it's about time they celebrate Ken Jeong at Cameron Indoor Stadium, right? Show all 3 Hangover movies back to back to back, right? Including the third one, the best one in my opinion. But then I sobered up and I realized I'm here to celebrate Duke, and I also realized I couldn't back out of this. I mean, Duke had already paid for my Spirit Airlines flight. Now, Duke is my passion. You know this about me. I am a proud Duke graduate myself. Trinity, class of 1990, give it up. I know I still look good. Botox, class of 2009. Yep. If it wasn't for Duke, I never would have become an actor. I'd always planned to be a doctor. I never acted before I came to Duke. I never had any aspirations to be in comedy, but then spring semester my sophomore year, I took my first acting class, Introduction to Acting, and even got accepted into Duke drama. Quite frankly and quite simply, I owe my livelihood to Duke. I love Duke. I am Duke. If it wasn't for Duke, I would not have had a career, and I never would have had the opportunity to annoy you and the world with my overacting and at times desperate brand of comedy. Now, I also went to med school at UNC, which is another reason I became a comedian. Now, all right? You know what I'm talking about. Think about it. In another timeline, I could have been your podiatrist in Scarborough. Now, but instead, I'm Mr. Chow from The Hangover. Toodaloo, Tar Heels. But enough about me. Being at Duke gives you opportunities you never thought you had. Duke, honestly, made me who I am. Duke is home. This is why I'm here all the time, because you are family, and I know that's true for all of you here tonight, and for those of you watching around the world. Duke is us, the people. Those of us here now, everyone who will help take Duke into the future, and those who laid the foundation of who we are today. Now, let's take some time to remember some of the moments that brought us here.
What is 100 years? It's more than simply the passing of time and the marking of a milestone. It's an opportunity to look back, to look around, to look ahead, to celebrate successes, to take stock of shortcomings, and to recommit to the essential truths of who we are and who we intend to be. The story of any great institution is a story of people coming together with a commitment to shared values. This is Duke. From a one-room schoolhouse to a global research university, our community of students, faculty, and staff has demonstrated boldness, perseverance, courage, self-reflection, and innovation. So, how did we get here? The bold vision of the Duke family laid the foundation for this university, where leaders are trained, knowledge is shared, and partnerships are forged in service to Durham, the Carolinas, and the world. Throughout the last 100 years, Duke has seen remarkable growth on campus and in the hearts and minds of those who have called Duke University their own. The journey has been filled with triumphs in discovery, teaching, learning, and care, but also with travails. Like the world around it, Duke has sometimes struggled to find its way. Our history reflects a slow, painful, and belated transition from a closed campus of the few to an open and more equitable community for all. Our story includes difficult and at times confrontational calls for change. Moments that mobilized students, faculty, and staff alike and served as a catalyst for progress. Our history has moved us to self-reflection. Each day, we challenge ourselves and each other to be better. We celebrate our progress, but we never stop listening and we never settle. Our ambition is outrageous, our imagination is boundless, and our deep commitment to innovation, equity, and excellence remains constant. From the example of James B. Duke to the work of thousands of brilliant Duke students, educators, employees, and community members, we know that when we act with purpose and when we do it together, we can do amazing things. Today, as we enter into Duke Centennial, we celebrate the people that have brought us here and those who will move us forward. 100 years of excellence. 100 years of leadership, 100 years of working together, lifting each other up, listening, learning, and growing, making our mark, and preparing us for the next 100 years. This is Duke.
This is who we are. We all stand on the shoulders of Blue Devil giants who came before us, who helped make Duke what it is today. And we are all part of Duke's future. Duke is a place where each of us has the opportunity to make our own mark, to be ourselves, and to make an impact. And by the way, making an impact doesn't always mean making a splash. Like a lot of impacts, it starts out small. It can start out humble. The Centennial is not like, hey, we're great, look at us. No, that's what the Centennial is all about. Centennial next week at the Woo, the big table. See you guys there. A lot of tickets left. Now, for me, going to Duke and being exposed to different viewpoints in life was the game changer. And that still resonates with me today, because being a change maker doesn't have to be a global thing. It can be in your everyday life. It's not about being the best. It's about doing your best to make a change. It's about doing good in life no matter how big or small. And that is what makes Duke, Duke. Speaking of people, I have the honor of introducing a special guest, distinguished alumna and Duke trustee. Give it up for Lisa Borders! Legend Lisa's in the house, yo.
Wow.
Welcome.
Thank you. Ken, this is amazing. I am so glad to be here this afternoon celebrating the it's the Duke Centennial, right?
Good catch. Centennial is next week. Tickets still available. But wow, 100 years, isn't it incredible? to be here and this energy with all these amazing people right now, because Duke has everything. We have academics, we have arts, we have athletics.
Wait, athletics? Really?
Okay, Lisa Borders, we're in Duke's basketball stadium.
Oh, is this
Cameron
where we
Indoor
are?
Yeah, this is the stadium, and you were president of the WNBA.
What?
You want me to
Say it again,
You
Ken.
want me to say it again?
Say it again.
You're the president of the WNBA? There, I said it twice. Wow. Wow.
Listen, I appreciate your reminder that this is the Centennial. As Dukies, we do have a lot to be proud of. We have our outstanding national championship records in men's basketball, soccer, and lacrosse. And let's not forget the women in golf and tennis.
Yes.
Somebody say amen.
Absolutely. I'm sensing a theme here, Lisa Borders. Teamwork makes the dream work. I coined that phrase. Look it up. I'm not a liar.
Did you really?
No.
Well, it is all about teamwork. It's about all of us, our history and our future. 100 years. Ken, that is 4 generations.
Yeah.
4 generations. Whether we're talking about the original Duke family or our extended Duke family here and around the world, as you have said, Ken, what's so great about Duke is that each of us has the opportunity to make our own mark, to find our own purpose and make a positive impact, to be a positive influence on the people around us, our family, our friends, community, and of course, even the world. There are so many ways to make an impact, and every time it starts with one small step. So as students, faculty, staff, and alum, we're committed to our values, we're deliberate in our actions,
and we have fun. F-U-N, am I right? I can't hear you.
Right?
We have fun. You got it. I majored in zoology, but minored in chaos. Fun.
We do have fun. We have a lot of fun, but there's no one word or phrase that defines us, right? Duke's past, present, and future are all intertwined, and in each, there's one common factor.
The buildings.
What?
I'm sorry, I couldn't read your
You did
mind.
not write that on your prescription
I
pad.
didn't know. I wrote a prescription for Ozempic. My ego lost 30 pounds.
Understand. No. Let's get this right. It's the people. It's the people, Ken. If you're at Duke, you are and you will make an impact. You just have to decide when, where, and how.
For me, why Duke has always dated back to its ability to instill in me, a dream. One day in the 3rd grade, I see on my desk a flyer for Duke Tip, and at that moment, it was really Duke, and there was no looking back. I had got to campus in a lot of ways, was socially and physically isolated. But then I finally started to see the glimpses of the Duke I had always dreamt of. Freshman year, I ran for class senator. I did not come close to winning that election whatsoever. Fast forward now, I'm the Duke Student Government President.
My name is Isaiah Hamilton. I cannot put into words how excited I am to be here with you guys today.
As the cliche goes, teamwork makes the dream work, and it wouldn't have been possible by myself. For me, it was always about community and community impact. It was not this campus. It wasn't the walls. It wasn't the Gothic architecture, the chapel, the gardens. It's the people. It's the Blue Devils on this campus that make this place truly special. The same way that my friends and family have supported me is the same way that the faculty, staff here, and administration has helped support the dreams of my peers and the ideas that I and others have had. If you have the ability to make a place better than when you found it, you should do it.
I think the general mindset of everyone at Duke University is just, how do we want to change the world? What is the kind of change that we want to see? I'm a second-year dual master's studying public policy and environmental management. I come from a corporate background, and I knew I wanted to switch gears to something that was more for public good. I got my start in nonprofit work focused on advocacy for Filipino-American artists. Disaster relief was actually what brought me to Duke University. I wanted to focus less on things that were reactive, but rather on more proactive and mitigative measures for the environment. I hope to be able to continue advocating for more Filipino-American representation within different career paths as well. What makes Duke unique is the people I'm surrounded by. I have no doubt that I'll be seeing all of my friends in the news one day. Their passion and their zeal inspires me to consistently work for something that I really believe in. I've never really felt more supportive, especially within an academic institution, and I can genuinely tell that our staff and faculty care about our well-being. I cannot express enough my gratitude for my friends and just all the people that I've met at Duke University. Everyone who's got me to this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, students in the house, Isaiah Hamilton and 𝐀𝐮𝐤𝐿 Bolivia. So we all know that Duke is defined by our students. It couldn't be more fitting that the first story we hear comes from our students. So Isaiah and 𝐀𝐮𝐤, you both describe Duke as a place that allows students to find where they belong and impact the world around them. So as you look ahead, what has been the most impactful thing that you're going to take with you from Duke to your next chapter?
Well, I'll tell you what, Lisa, I think me and so many others, in here today's experience at Duke has been punctuated by this uncertainty, right? We came in not knowing what our Duke career was going to look like in the midst of a global pandemic. And in so many ways, it was the unknown. And it was the ability that we had to learn to embrace that unknown and persevere through those tough times that I think is going to be, surmount any other lesson that I can take with me in the next chapter. I believe that we're going to be able to, go into this unknown, and we're going to be able to look at it and say, I'm not afraid of it, but how can we mold it to be the best that we can be?
Oh, we're going to have to tell you to have some words with some adults. Just pointing that out. 𝐀𝐮𝐤, what about you?
Yeah, of course. I would say that I'm most excited to take with me the community that has supported and nurtured me over the past couple of years. See, my friends and I, we always talk about the kind of impact and change that we want to see in this world and the kind of change that we want to make. So I'm really excited to continue our record of excellence and to continue to do good work together.
We are all so proud of you. Thank you for all of your studying and all of your hard work. Give it up. So the academic experience at Duke is for our students, and it is driven by our world-class faculty. They demonstrate a deep commitment to not only academic excellence, but also to developing each student as a leader and as a person. Through their work and their research, they are a force that changes the world. And I am not objective. Let's be clear. Let's hear two of their many stories.
Our mission as academics is to do the kind of scholarship that will improve the world.
Discoveries happen at the borders of disciplines. Everything gets improved when you exchange ideas.
Before college and during college, I worked with a lot of children. And I saw that, some kids were really flourishing, some kids were struggling. My research tries to understand what are the forces that lead to those differences and what could we do to help their lives be more predictable and manageable.
I left Colombia when the war against the guerrillas was at its worst. It was a very difficult period. I have been studying how memory reactivation can modify the contents of the original memory for the better. Maybe what we do when we forgive is that we change the emotional tone of the memory so that it just doesn't hurt as much.
Here at Duke, we're really able to bring people together from across different perspectives to answer really important research questions. And that's a really exciting thing about doing this research.
My work in philosophy is as important as my work in psychology and in neuroscience. And I like that faculty members and that the university itself sees that as an asset.
It's things like parents in low-wage workplaces accessing social services, housing and housing instability, or driver's license suspension, which is a huge issue of inequality.
It's just very powerful to see how someone who has suffered so much can nevertheless bring themselves to restructure a peaceful community. That's just remarkable.
Duke has really thought creatively and in a really forward-looking way to invest in research that can be used for positive change.
It's just the perfect recipe for creativity, for novel work.
A big part of our mission is equipping the students with the tools that they need.
I've had students that go on to become philosophy professors. Some have gone to law school, many that go into medical school.
If some of my work could lead to policy change to make our communities and our world a better place, that would be thrilling.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Dr. Felipe de Brigard and Dr. Anna Gassman-Pines. So, from the classrooms to the labs to the community, I think it's safe to say that Duke's faculty are among the very best in their fields. As a student back in the 1970s, and even today as a member of the Board of Trustees, I've had the opportunity to meet and get to know many faculty members across the university. And to a person, they care deeply about their students and about the world. So Anna and Felipe, you both do research that has the potential to transform how we interact with one another and how the world can be a better place. What makes Duke the best place for you to do your work? Felipe, would you like to start?
Yeah, I would say interdisciplinarity.
And what the hell is that?
Look, listen, I'm a philosopher that works in the psychology and the cognitive neuroscience of memory and forgiveness with a research project that has potential impact for public policy. I need a place like Duke because I need a place that values and fosters both the philosophy and the science in me. And the truth is, I wouldn't have thought about these ideas if I wasn't a philosopher, and I wouldn't have known how to put them in practice if I wasn't a scientist. And Duke invites me to be both.
Amen. Anna, what about you?
Absolutely. As a public policy scholar whose work spans different disciplines, it's so important to me that Duke is a place that supports scholars with different training from the natural sciences, the social sciences, the arts, and humanities to come together to be able to work to answer research questions that are important to society. And when we work across those disciplinary boundaries, we can generate answers to these research questions that have the potential to transform lives both right here in our community in Durham, North Carolina, and around the world.
Well, we are grateful to each of you, and we're delighted that you're here teaching our students. Thank you. Now, as we have seen, the impact of the Duke experience does not stop at the borders of our campus. Our alumni are spread all across the globe. They bring a piece of what it means to be a Blue Devil to everything they do. I'd like to introduce you to one of them right now.
When you say you are from Duke, people know that you have been trained by the best. But ultimately, it's where you create bonds with people who make you who you are. My name is Shri Bose, and I am a proud graduate of the Medical Scientist Training Program at Duke University. I was really passionate about science growing up. When I was 15, my grandfather passed away from lung cancer. Seeing how it affected every single person around him made me want to dedicate my life to being able to take care of patients. Curing cancer was something that, to 15-year-old me, I was like, yeah, amazing, that's the goal. And now, having gone through an MD, PhD, having understood what it means for a patient to have cancer, I think my mission is more about allowing people with cancer to live the kinds of lives that they want. And the mentors at Duke taught me that that's what matters. At Duke, when you ask for help, people listen. It's somewhere that people are proud to be from. I remember the moment I saw a heart in a surgery for the first time. They clamped off the heart, and then 20 minutes later, you could just shock it and it would just start beating again. The human body is so resilient in these really profound ways. As somebody who wants to take care of patients with cancer, it's something that I will never forget. There are things in the world beyond just the work. There are beautiful boundaries to be broken. I am now a resident at University of Chicago, and I still proudly wear my Duke Patagonia jacket. Duke is where my heart is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Shri Bose. So Duke alumni like Shri are at work literally in every corner of the globe. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of you are watching right now. And you work in the sciences, the humanities, in medicine, engineering, law, business, environment, and the arts. And all of you are excelling and serving by sharing not only your talent, but most importantly, your passion. So Shri, you mentioned that your mentors at Duke and the impact they had and how they helped you find your calling. You're a resident now, right? At University of Chicago. It's cold up there, right?
It's so cold. I need my Patagonia.
Well, I was going to ask you, how does Duke continue to impact you besides wearing your Patagonia and staying warm, your Duke Patagonia?
The Patagonia is a big part of it, I'm not gonna lie. I will say, Duke is where you grow up. It's where you find your best friends. It's where you find incredible mentors. It's where you figure out what matters to you, what really makes you who you are. And I think you leave here and you realize that you're joining 100 years of alumni who had the same experience in this incredible place. And you're not gonna get into all of that with the dude in the Duke sweatshirt who's in the cafeteria lunch line. Like, you're not gonna get into all of that, but you look at each other and you know what it means when you both say, I went to Duke.
Give me some.
And that's what matters. It's a privilege. It is.
Oh my, this is a bad girl. So everything experienced here by students, faculty, visitors, friends, and certainly our returning alumni rests on the bedrock of the incredible commitment and talent displayed by our staff. The staff here at Duke is what makes us, what do we say? Devil forth. They are the lifeblood of the university. They are both excellent themselves and the enablers of excellence in all of us. Some of them have even made Duke and the Duke community a lifelong commitment. Here is one such story.
I'm Barbara Stokes. I'm the Director of Residential Dining, and I've been here 40 years. I manage the residential dining programs and oversee our food systems management. I have a great team, and my role is to help them do their jobs. And it can be something different every day. When I first got to Duke, I was a Black woman in biomedical engineering, and everybody in those classrooms were mostly white males. At first, it was just about getting my degree, but then just being around the people, working and dining. They became my family. I had work study, and the first job that I had was actually an egg cook. The person that interviewed me was Betty Sims. She promoted me really quickly to a student manager. It's like, I can't do this job. And she said, yes, you can. She was just always there, and I learned so much from her. Over the years, Duke has changed and has become a place that really embraces equity and diversity to make sure that everybody feels included. And so I just see more of that in the future. 40 years later, it's definitely not what I planned, but I truly wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I was talking to somebody one day, and they referred to me as a servant leader. I think that describes who I am, because I feel like my role is not just to take care of the students, but also to take care of the staff, to make them not only better employees, but better community members. I just can't speak enough about how Duke has supported that path for me. And that's what a family does, and this is my family.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Barbara Stokes. So, Miss Barbara, you arrived at Duke in 1980, just 1 year after I left, and it is so inspiring to listen and learn about your journey. Becoming a leader, obtaining your degree, and finding a family here, I love to see how you are feeding not only our minds and our bodies, but our souls. We are grateful. You talked about being a servant leader. What does that mean to you?
Being a servant leader means prioritizing the growth and well-being of the staff. It means that I listen to understand their concerns and needs. And then my goal is to develop them not only personally, professionally as well. And if that happens, we all are winners.
Somebody say amen. So service is such an important part of everything we do here at Duke, because here we work in service to each other, to our communities, and to the world. This is the impulse that drives us forward every day. It can change and quite literally save lives.
We found out we were having Easton, and it was at our gender scan that we found out about his heart defects. We didn't know what to do. His very first heart surgery was at 5 days old. It was about 5 days after that he went into cardiac arrest and had to be put on life support.
We tried to fix the valve on several occasions, and we just could not get a durable repair. I mean, you're dealing with a heart that's the size of a plump strawberry.
It was hard. Long days, long nights. Dr. Turek pulled me to the side, and he said that he wanted to give me my son back.
He was very ill, so we listed Easton for a heart transplant. We realized that Easton did not have a functioning immune system, and that's when the light bulb went off. My research colleague, Louise Markert, had developed about 25 years ago a way in which we could replace the immune system in children who are born without immune systems.
The thymus is the organ where T cells are made. You need T cells because they fight infection.
Louise had this idea that why don't we take the thymus and find a way that we can give these children a functioning immune system.
So we found a way where we could obtain tissue from babies having heart surgery.
The thymus sits on top of the heart. You need to take some of it out because it's in the way. And Dr. Markert said, well, I know those heart surgeons are taking thymus and throwing it away. What if I were to tap into that?
You can put it in the lab, culture it, and put it into the thigh muscle. And it's like planting tulips.
If a heart transplant patient were to receive a thymus from the same donor that they're getting a heart from, maybe that reprogramming of the immune system that would occur would also keep them from rejecting their heart.
It was explained to us that the heart and thymus would see each other as self, so Easton's body wouldn't fight off the heart. We told Ivy that we were waiting on a special angel to bring Easton a new heart. One day, his transplant cardiologist came in and said, you know, how do you feel about getting a heart transplant today? Ever since he got his transplant, he's been making milestones faster than we would imagine that he would. He climbs on everything, he jumps off of everything. He has a bruise almost every other day, just like any other 2-year-old boy.
If you look back, this was something in the making for about 30 years.
Talk about the joy of your life, you know, being able to help these children.
Having a supportive environment allows you to change the world. This was something that could only happen at Duke.
When we visit all the staff members, Easton just runs up to them, gives them hugs. They became a close family with us. It's, you know, it's like our second home being at Duke.
Ladies and gentlemen, here in Cameron and around the world, may I present to you Dr. Louise Markert and Dr. Joseph Turek. So the physicians, providers, and researchers at Duke care for patients, their families from across North Carolina and beyond. Duke is a place where medical innovations like the one you just discussed are born, and that doesn't happen everywhere. I understand this could only happen at Duke. So let's talk about why. Dr. Markert, Miss Louise, would you like to start talking about the thymus that I just learned how to spell?
Okay.
Go ahead, girlfriend.
Okay, so for myself, it was starting in 1993. And there was a child born who had no thymus. And that was the first time I ever got into that. And so I wanted to help this baby. And and in heart surgery, their thymus is actually discarded. okay? And so we could take the thymus and then culture it and then give it to the children who do not have thymus. And then the thymus would help them fight off infection. And so you need that thymus to fight the infection. And so it was just, yeah, who knew? So it was so amazing that this simple procedure. And then we were able to make it be a real therapy, like FDA approved. And so that was
okay, don't get too
amazing.
far into it. I can't follow.
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Turret, help me out. What else did you all do?
I mean, Duke is just really a special place. You know, there's a long-standing culture of collaboration here. And in this case in particular, this was 30 years of collaboration on Louise's innovation that led to this life-saving breakthrough for Easton. And moving forward, it could potentially change the entire field of transplantation.
Fantastic. Historic and groundbreaking. Thank you for the work that you all have done and will continue to do. Give them some love, y'all. Okay. All right. So Duke's Centennial is our moment. Who are we? Why does it matter? And what will we do with the opportunities in front of us? We will rise up, of course. This is Duke, and we rise up to every occasion.
Down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. Walk it out. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you.
When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we're gonna take the world to its feet and
move mountains,
mountains, move mountains, mountains,
mountains.
And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000
Please, one more time for Dr. Turek, Dr. Markert, Lisa Borders, Easton, and the entire Centennial family. Real talk, in all my years at Duke, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen at Duke. Please, one more time for all of them who made an impact. This is why we're all here right now. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm so proud to be from Duke. It's so beautiful, so emotional, no words. I mean, what else is there to say? Excuse me for a second. Hey guys, there's a control room here? Yeah, this is Ken. No, I was under the impression this event had no substance. And you know, I don't like to follow stuff like that. Truly inspirational on so many levels. And that is what being a change maker is all about. What an opportunity to be here. Opportunities further await us. And for more on that, please welcome President Vince Price.
Thank you, Ken. This is quite a way to set up next week's Centennial.
Centennial still next week. Tickets still
Tickets
available.
on sale.
Yep.
What amazing stories. Each one of us has our own story to tell about how the Duke experience has helped define us, inspired us, helped prepare us to take Duke into our next century. And whether you're right here in Cameron now or joining us online from locations around the world, I am so glad that we are here together as we begin the celebration of Duke's 100th anniversary. I've been thrilled to see our students performing today, thrilled to have Ken and Lisa here, and thrilled that all of you are here. And like you, I've been incredibly moved by all that we've seen and heard. This moment speaks to who we are and to how transformative the Duke experience is for our students, for our faculty and staff, for our alumni, and patients and community members we serve. Now, the Duke of today is an improbable story of success, but the Duke family believed in what Trinity College could become. And 100 years ago, James B. Duke's gift that created this university, it was as visionary as it was bold. But not even the most brilliant forecaster could have imagined the Duke University of today. Over the past 100 years, we've enjoyed tremendous growth. We have faced and we have overcome challenges, and we have made extraordinary achievements. And all of that is the result of, more than anything else, one thing: people. You've heard that today. People, committed, thoughtful, hard-working people who each in their own way have made their mark on this university and on the community around them. People like you here today. And thanks to 100 years of effort by those people, today, more than ever before, Duke University is in a position to lead into our next century. So the question we should ask ourselves is, how will we lead? How will we seize our opportunities as one of the world's great universities? How will we rise to the challenges of our second century? That's the responsibility that we share. Our Centennial is a gift to us. It's a chance to pause and reflect on our past. It's an opportunity to appreciate the present and to plan for the future. And in doing so, we should be grounded by a sense of humanity, honesty, humility, hope, and guided by a firm conviction, our commitment to openness, to excellence, and the search for knowledge, and driven by the faith that we together can move Duke and the world forward. This will require of us, everyone here, working together. Now, fortunately, we do happen to have with us here today someone who knows just a bit about what it takes to build an extraordinary team. He has led Duke teams to over 1,100 victories, and he's brought us those 5 banners. So please join me in welcoming him to the stage. Come on out, Coach K.
Thank you very much. One moment, all right? Let me have my one moment. I gotta close my eyes. I miss this place, all right? I mean, I'm forever Duke, but I miss our house and what's been accomplished in our house. By the way, I know Coach Shire's got a big game against Pitt tonight, but I called him, and we're going to sign Easton to a letter of intent tomorrow. Talk about playing with heart, right? And what an extraordinary story. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to us. You know, when I think of our house, what I think of is it's the only place like it in the United States, in the world, because everybody in the house owns it. The players don't play for Duke. They are Duke. The coaching staff does not coach for Duke. They are Duke. And the fans don't cheer for Duke. They are Duke. All right? No place on earth does that happen. And it's not just our house, it's our university. Yeah. Look, I know all the students there, your parents and your friends think you attend Duke. You do not attend Duke. Yeah. You are Duke. All the instructors, all the people, William, who cleans our floor religiously, they don't work for Duke. They are Duke. In other words, we're the only school in the world where we own it. It's ours. And what's the common ground that we all have for our school, for our university? It's the values. The values that you live by, you learn, they become you. They become your character. They're the values of integrity. Come on, man. You know what's right. Do what's right. Even when it's tough, choose the harder right than the easier wrong. That's what we do at Duke. And we respect. Everybody's important. Everybody's important. There's not a level of importance because we're all Duke. And courage, the courage to say or do what needs to be said or done at the moment it needs to be said or done. If it needs to be said or done, we don't say, oh, I'm gonna think about it. Not at Duke. We're gonna do something about it right away. And selfless service. We ride for the brand. We ride for the Duke brand. Loyalty, you bear true faith and allegiance to this place. Duty, you know what your job is. Do it every day. Your teammate depends on you. Yeah, you do it. And trust. We trust one another. What's happened, we live by those values. And all of a sudden we develop a character that no school in the world can develop because it's ours. Yeah. We celebrated the moments that were pursued by our team today. They were not only pursued, we win. They were seized, and then we celebrated them here today. How about all these vignettes? Can we give applause for all? It's just amazing. But for me too, I like to celebrate our moments. I come back into Cameron and look at our we have a lot of banners, by the way, just so. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. And but in celebrating one moment, I'd like to pick out one banner. Our last national championship. I like saying last because that means it wasn't the only one, you know, like we've had some, and we're gonna have more, by the way. And John wants that too, so we're full agreement. That national championship occurred in obviously 2015, and I'll set the stage. We're playing in front of over 70,000 people. Over 30 million people are watching us, and we're losing in the second half. We only had 8 guys on our team, and the 8th man on our team was an 18-year-old called, his name is still, he hasn't changed his name, Grayson Allen, all right? Now, that season, there were games where he didn't play. He had what they call DNPs, did not play. But he worked and worked, and he was respected, you know, by our staff and his teammates. And he started getting better, and I put him in the game. And he hit 2 shots right away. He made me look good. I didn't even call a play for him. And, but then he made a play that's really one of the historic plays in the history of Duke sports. Right around that foul line, there was a loose ball. And he and a Wisconsin player went for it, and he was fouled. Yeah, we finally got a call. No, I won't go into that. By the way, the court is a lot nicer because there are no striped shirts on it, all right? And he went for the loose ball, and he's a great athlete, and he dove for the loose ball. And he dove, and then he came right up. And in front of over 70,000 people, and there's 30 million watching, 18 years old, he said, "Let's go!" And then he waited 2 more seconds, and again he said, "Let's go!" And it was like a lightning bolt. It hit me as a coach. I started finally coaching better. It hit Tyus Jones, who a little bit after that hit a big 3 off of a ball screen to kind of seal the game. It helped Quinn Cook. It helped everybody, you know, and we won. We won the national championship. But we won because of our values. That kid had the courage, just like all of you, if you're a Duke person, You had the courage to say what needed to be said at that moment. 18 years old. But there's another value that was there. It's the respect value, where all of you, all of us are important. Everybody listened. They listened to the 8th man on the team in a national championship game when he yelled like a crazy person, "Let's go." That's what makes us such a special university. Now, we've pursued and we've seized. It's been a hell of 100 years. Yeah, it's been an amazing 100 years. We need to celebrate it, you know? Yeah, we need to, and we are celebrating. This has been a magnificent show, all right? But we got to start again. We got to get in the locker room after all the celebration is there and say, what are we going to do in the next 100? We've amazed the world. No one knew that we were going to be as good as we are. The thing is, they have no clue about how much better we're going to be, all right? But as we go forward, we can't come out of the locker room walking. Come on, man. That's not going to do it, man. We also can't come out jogging like we just did something. Look at what, no. I want to show you what we're going to do. We have to explode out of the locker room. And when we do, we sprint out and we yell out, "Let's go, Duke! Let's 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 go, Duke! VIPs! Let's go, Duke! 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 If you're ready to lead in the next 100 years, stand up! Stand up! Let's go, Duke! Let's go, Duke! How about a Blue Devils? How about it, Coach K? Coach K, we have 5 championships and 3 hangovers between us. We're both winners. Yes! 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 Thank you. Much love to everybody. And it truly wouldn't be a Duke event in this building without one more thing.
I still hear your voice when you sleep
It's my wedding
next
song,
to
by the way.
me.
Yeah.
I still feel your touch in my dreams.
See, I can sing